Good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Verona regular public meeting agenda. It is July 6th, 2021, and we're going to call the meeting to order. It is 7:07, and if everyone will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The reading of the meeting notice. This meeting is being conducted in compliance with the open meeting session that the Verona Board of Education passed a resolution at its annual reorganization meeting held on January 5th, 2021. The meeting set forth the schedule of its regular meetings, which resolution was within 7 days of passage. The schedule was sent to the Verona Cedar Grove Times, the Star Ledger, the Township of Verona, and the VEA. Postings of this meeting setting forth the time, location, and agenda were posted at the Verona Board of Education office and on the Verona Public Schools District website. The Verona Board of Education operates under a consent agenda format. Any board member has the right to have an item pulled to be voted upon or discussed separately. Copies of tonight's agenda and resolutions have been made available to the public and the press. Mr. Cruz, can you please do the roll call for attendance?
Sure. Mr. Aworth.
Mr.
Mr. Aworth is absent. Mr. Day.
Yes, here.
Mrs. Streppy.
Here.
Mrs. Freshke.
Present.
And Mrs. Prisco.
Here.
We have quorum.
Thank you very much. We have no presentations this evening, so we're going to go into Dr. Dionisio and the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Fresky. Thank you, Mrs. Fresky. Good evening, everyone. I have a number of updates since our last meeting that I'd like to speak to this evening. First and foremost, I'd like to just recognize and congratulate, and I know it seems like already so much has happened and we're into a full summer break, but I'd just like to congratulate the HBW 8th graders on the amazing, wonderful promotion ceremony that they had on June 24th on Solito Field. And I'd like to thank all of the administrators, the parents, the students, and the staff who made a very special morning. And the weather really cooperated, and it was just wonderful to see our students out there. So congratulations are definitely in order for them. And we're excited to bring them to Verona High School next year in September. And we're looking forward to seeing more great things. And then similarly, it was an amazing Verona High School graduation ceremony on Solito Field. It's been quite some time since we've had that. The weather could not have been more spectacular. It's a very difficult thing to have, and we have very little control over, but it was just a beautiful ceremony. So thank you to the high school administration, to the students, the parents, the board. I know really appreciated that evening. Several of you had, Mrs. Frisco, Mr. Day had graduates this year, so congratulations on that. And it was just a really wonderful evening and just presented extremely well. And there were a lot of smiling faces out there on Solito Field. So we are excited for our graduates. Best wishes to all of them on their future endeavors. And we know that they will make Verona proud and they'll make their families proud. Second item this evening on the superintendent report. On June 28th, Governor Murphy and the New Jersey Department of Education announced the Road Forward plan for next year. If you recall, last year it was the Road Back plan. Now we're going to the Road Forward plan. And one of the key items, there were a number of items, but one of the key items as part of this was the option for districts to employ mask optional for next year. So the administrative team and I have been since last week, and Mr. Merkler has been instrumental in this, spearheading this effort in working in conjunction with the Montclair Department of Health in taking a look at the recommendations and looking ahead to what those recommendations are and communicating those with the health department, with our district physician, with our board attorney, and with our board policy company, Strauss Esme. So there's a lot of work that we have ahead of us over the next several weeks, and we will have to revise our board policy and have 2 readings as is typical. We'll have to have a first reading on revised board policies and second reading. So we will likely have to have a second, the addition of another meeting in August. I'll apprise the board and the public of that if that's necessary, just in case Strauss Esme does not have board policy updated for the July 27th meeting. It is our hope that they will, but the board and I and the administrative team have discussed looking ahead to September and the school year and moving towards mask optional for staff and for students, still maintaining as much distancing as possible. And it's all conditional upon the public health conditions remaining as they currently are, stabilized or improving. And we're just going to continue to monitor any variants, any other concerns that may pop up. But right now, things are trending in the right direction. And we want to take advantage of that and at the same time communicate the importance of vaccinations for all of our students who are eligible and for any adults, not only within our schools, but within our community, because the more people that get vaccinated, the safer and the healthier everyone will be. So we will be putting out a communication this week to the whole district via email to just apprise everyone of where we are currently at, to just be patient. This is going to be in effect and our plan is for September. And we do not believe we'll be able to have it ready to go before the summer programs are over. So we'll continue to maintain the mask policies that we have in place at this time. Moving on, I'd like to provide an update on the HBW principal search. As I've repeated at several of the board meetings over the past several months on the progress regarding the search process, the school district received approximately 60 applications for the HBW principal position for Mrs. McNeil's retirement, which goes into effect for September 1st. There were approximately 60 applications. We interviewed 16 candidates in the first round, followed by 6 candidates in round 2. And we then narrowed down that applicant pool, that candidate pool, to the top 3 finalists, who then were interviewed by a committee of HBW staff and administrators. I am very pleased to share with everyone that I am recommending to the Board of Education this evening for approval, Mr. Lancaster, our Verona High School assistant principal, as the next HBW principal of the Olmsted House to work alongside Mr. Galbercheck. Mr. Lancaster will begin his 19th year in education this September. He began his teaching career at West Essex High School, where he taught English for 4 years before moving on to West Essex Middle School to teach English for 8 years. During his 12 years teaching, Mr. Lancaster served as an advisor for the National Honor Society. He coached baseball for 12 years. He coached basketball for 6 years, and he was recognized as the 2013-2014 Teacher of the Year for West Essex Middle School. In addition to his experience at West Essex, Mr. Lancaster was an adjunct professor at Passaic County Community College. He also taught English for grades 3 through 11 for School Plus's Saturday Enrichment Program in Teaneck, and he served as the director for the Gifted Child Society's STEM Summer Program. Mr. Lancaster still continues to this day to serve as a board member for the Gifted Child Society. In September 2015, Mr. Lancaster joined Verona High School, where he served as assistant principal, working collaboratively with the administration, the teachers, and the staff to create innovative opportunities for Verona students. Throughout his tenure, he demonstrated a commitment to teamwork and a genuine belief that every student could not only succeed, but should have all of the opportunities to excel and maximize their individual potential. Mr. Lancaster worked with the Verona High School team to build upon the existing framework while helping bring to fruition the progress status that Verona has today. He can be seen greeting students each morning, and he plans to continue the same welcoming, encouraging, and supportive approach at HB Whitehorn Middle School. Mr. Lancaster is excited to join and work alongside very closely with Mr. Galbercheck, with the HBW teachers and staff, and the HBW students and families to continue to build upon the school's great history. At this time, I'd like to have Mr. Lancaster come up to the podium and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank each member of the Verona Board of Education for not only this wonderful opportunity to join the HBW team, but for all the opportunities I've been given since I joined Verona Public Schools in 2015. It is an honor to be a part of our school district and to be a part of the Verona community. Board members volunteer to serve, and I understand how much you all love this community and how committed you are to serving it. And I want to assure you that I am committed and prepared to be a part of a middle school that means so much to the Verona community. I would like to thank Dr. Dionisio for all he has done for our district since becoming superintendent of schools. Dr. Dionisio, you are a great leader and a genuinely great person, and it is an honor to work for you. I would like to thank Mr. Cogdill for being an exceptional mentor and principal. It has been an honor working with him. I would like to thank my fellow administrators, our teachers, and staff for being hardworking, reliable, kind teammates. There are great people, way too many of them to name, who work tirelessly to make VHS the special place that it is. I would also like to thank the students and family whom I have worked with for over the past 6 years. Every single one of our students has been and always will be important to me. I am sincerely grateful for the opportunity to join HBW. I know it is a special place, and I'm extremely excited to join the team. I want to wish Mrs. McNeil well in her retirement. Mrs. McNeil has been an important part of Verona's history, and it is an honor to follow her. Mr. Galvachek is a wonderful person and a fantastic educator, and I'm thrilled to know that I'll be working with him. I also know that HBW has wonderful teachers and staff, and I am excited to work with all of them. If I can have just another moment, I would like all of the HBW parents to know that I understand how much you love your children. And I will work tirelessly to not only continue what you and your family love about HBW, but I will work with everyone on our team to prepare your child for the great experiences that lay ahead. And to our students, teachers, and staff, I look forward to many great experiences. I know how important HBW is to you. I look forward to meeting and knowing every student, teacher, staff member, and family at HBW. Thank you.
Mr. Lancaster, I just want to say, I am so excited. Congratulations on taking the position. And I think it's going to be really great to have your experience at the high school and transition into the middle school, because I think the arch of connecting the students and knowing what lies ahead for them, it's going to just be a really valuable set of skills that you're going to bring to the table. So congratulations. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you. I mean, it has been a great experience to see the high school and to be a part of it. And now to go and work with Mr. Galwachek, who has had the same experience, and then to work with our team at the elementary schools. I think it really will be, it's an exciting opportunity for me to be able to connect with all the different levels. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lancaster. Congratulations again. Well done. Well deserved.
Thank you.
At this point in the superintendent report, I'd just like to continue on along the same process here in regards to our high school administration. And in anticipation of Mr. Lancaster's transition to becoming the principal of the Olmsted House at HBW, I will be making a recommendation this evening for Mr. Merkler, who is our current Director of Athletics and Special Programs, to be recognized and appointed as the assistant principal at Verona High School to follow Mr. Lancaster. Mr. Merkler has served as the Director of Athletics and Special Programs for the Verona Public School District for the past 5 years, and he is entering his 16th year of education. He prides himself on being able to create relationships in the Verona school community that impact Verona staff and students in a very positive way. He believes experiencing success in school, both academically and socially, can lead to our students becoming contributing, well-respected members of our community. In his role as Director of Athletics and Special Programs, he maintained primary responsibilities, including the supervision of the district health and physical education program, our district nurses, the HIB program, and the high school coaches in athletics. Mr. Merkler was integral in working closely with our district nurses this year and with the Montclair Department of Health during the COVID-19 pandemic to establish safety protocols, monitoring COVID cases, and their impact on the school district and the coordination of vaccines for district employees to help keep everyone safe. He oversaw many successful athletic programs during his time as the director. One of his fondest memories will be witnessing the camaraderie amongst each team and watching our student athletes compete with fervor and respect each and every day. He's extremely excited about his new role at the high school, and he's looking forward to working over the summer to ensure a smooth transition. Additionally, I've asked Mr. Merkler to lead the search for a new director of athletics and special programs this summer and to assist that individual in performing their new role beginning as soon as possible. It is with great honor that I recommend Mr. Merkler, and I'd like to ask him to come on up and say a few words this evening.
Thank you very much. Good evening. First, I want to begin by saying thank you. Thank you to the Verona Board of Education for your unwavering support and putting your trust in me to help Mr. Cogdill lead our wonderful school. Thank you to Dr. Dionisio for bringing me to Verona and showing me what an educational leader should be. I'd also like to thank our administrative team for their support and guidance over the past 5 years. I could consider myself extremely fortunate and lucky to work with such a supportive team. Finally, thank you to the kids, families, and coaches that have made the last 5 years as the AD such a wonderful experience. I've made a lifetime of amazing memories from this time, and I will always cherish them. I also want to congratulate Mr. Lancaster on his appointment as the next principal at HBW. You're truly a great person, and you're going to do an amazing job. You, Mr. Galberchek, will make a great team. I cannot express how excited I am to make this transition. Over the past 5 years, I've developed a deep love for Verona, from our students and staff to our supportive community. Each day, I'm excited to step foot in the building and see our kids succeed. Whether it's in the classroom, on the field, or on the stage, seeing the joy and excitement in their face when they excel is simply an amazing moment. I'm well aware of how great this opportunity is, and I look forward to working collaboratively with our school community to continue to build on success we have experienced together. Thank you very much.
I just want to say, Mr. Merkler, you don't have to get back up. I just wanted to say congratulations again. I'm very excited for you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I couldn't think of two more individuals at this time in the trajectory of Verona Public Schools to be recommended for these positions. You both are not only extremely intelligent and incredible people, you're caring, you're supportive, you're collaborative, and you're exactly what HBW and VHS needs. And we're just very proud of both of you. We thank you for all of the dedication and commitment you've given to our community and to our students and to our families and staff over the past 5 and 6 years. Verona is very lucky to have both of you, and we're very, very happy for you to continue to grow and contribute professionally here to our community. And congratulations again to two extremely deserving individuals. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And at this time, that is the conclusion of the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Dionisio. At this point in the agenda, we're to public comments on agenda action items to be approved. And there are no public comments on agenda items. Are there any discussion items from the board? I just want to acknowledge Ms. Cynthia Graves on her retirement. All three of my sons had Miss Graves, and I think that was early on in her career. So I feel like I've known her and watched her over her whole career, and she's going to be sadly missed. So Ms. Graves, if you're listening, I wish you well on your next chapter, and your professionalism and your dedication to education and your craft and your students and your families is second to none. So thank you so much for your service. Are there any other discussion items?
No, I would just echo what you just said, Mrs. Fresky. You know, I've had the opportunity I'm in my 8th year now here in Verona as superintendent, and I've been nothing short of amazed by not only Mrs. Graves and her ability as an educator, but her caring, her kindness, her positive disposition, her insight to look at challenges in unique ways. And she's been an immense asset to the community, and it's a huge loss. And we wish her well in retirement.
So with, excuse me, with no other discussion items, we're going to move on to the voting of the resolutions. So I need a I need a motion to accept resolutions number 1 through 17.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Day.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Prisco. And is there any discussion on any of those agenda items? On those resolutions?
I just wanted to quickly talk about resolution number 4 through 6. And those are just related to federal funding, and they're under various categories. And I think it's just, for the sake of transparency, just to discuss that, at minimum. So for resolution number 4, the Title III funds really relate to, from my understanding, the funding for students in the ESL and ELL programs. And we decided not to apply for them because we have so few students in the program, and then to go through all of that paperwork that it takes to commit to the funding or to apply to the funding, it actually turned out to cost us almost equal to, if not more, than the actual funding, the very small amount of funding that we were going to receive. And then for the Title II funding, that just relates in particular to staffing and funds for professional development. And then for resolution number 6, which is the Title IV Part A funding, that one relates, and it says here, student support and academic enrichment programs. And Title IV in general, Part A, really talks about like promoting a well-rounded education. So it discusses everything from providing opportunities in school counseling to help students with FAFSA, through AP, and then all the way through bullying and prevention and mental health. So, to be able to apply for that and receive funding for that is really great. And I just wanted to point that out because I think it's important to, to have everybody understand exactly where that money is coming from or what it's for.
Thank you, Mrs. Drappi. I would just want to comment on resolutions number 7 and 8. We're rescinding number 7, which was the contract for Dr. Miller, because there was an omission. And that brings us to resolution number 8. And I think, can we just change the wording towards the end to make it an additional doctorate stipend? Okay, great. Thank you. And does anybody else have any comments on, before we do the roll call to vote?
Are we also doing addenda resolutions at this point,
I
or
was going to do that
separately? I'll wait then.
All right, so then, Mr. Cruz, can you please do the roll call?
Sure. For the record, Mr. Allworth is absent. Mr. Day,
Yes.
Mrs. Drapey,
Yes.
Mrs. Fresky,
Yes.
Mrs. Prisco.
Yes.
Motion passed.
Excellent, the motion passes, thank you. And then we also have addendum resolutions. So I need a motion to accept addenda resolutions number 1 through 8.
So moved.
Moved by Mrs. Drappi,
Second.
second by Mr. Day. And are there any comments or discussion on these? Dr. Dinicio?
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Fresky. I do have a comment. So resolution 1.2, we have a resolution for VHS mural design and painting up to 30 hours by Mrs. Giacateno. She's one of our wonderful graphic arts teachers at Verona High School. With all of the improvements and renovations to our schools and beautification, as you walk through the high school hallways, doing improvements with artwork has been a focus to improve the learning environment for our students. And rather than taking and doing this work and hiring an outside professional at a more costly expense, Mrs. Shakatano has designed a beautiful mural that has been shared with a number of different staff members that will be a beautiful entrance when you come in off of Sampson Drive in the vestibule. So not only does she do beautiful work, but this is a very cost-effective way of beautifying our schools. So that's what the purpose of that resolution is for this evening. And Mrs. Shakatano's aim and her goal is to successfully complete that before the opening of school in September.
Excellent, thank you. And I just wanted to comment on addendum resolution number 7. The board is accepting a donation from VFI for Inspiring Excellence. So each of the elementary schools will receive $1,000, and Verona High School and HB Whitehorn is $1,500. So VFI, thank you so much. And for the community members and businesses that support VFI and donate to them to make their funds available to us, it's really a huge contribution to the community. So thank you for that. Are there any other comments? If not, I am going to ask Mr. Cruz to please call the roll to vote on these resolutions.
Sure. For the record, Mr. Allworth is absent. Mr. Day.
I can unmute. Yes, and I happily also vote 1.3, which is for Mr. Merkler and Mr. Lancaster. So congrats to you both again. And yes, I vote for the addendum. Vote again and again. Yeah.
Mrs. Drapey.
Yes.
Mrs. Fresky.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. Prisco.
Yes, and I double that on Mr. Day. Also, congratulations, well deserved, and so happy to keep you here in the Verona community. So thank you both.
Motion passed.
Okay, those motions pass. Thank you, everybody. And at this point, if there are any public comments on any topics, and there are not. So the next public meeting is on Tuesday, July 27th, confidential session at 5:30 with our public session at 7 o'clock in the high school auditorium. And I do want to officially, I was remiss in welcoming Mr. Cruz. So I do want to say thank you. This is your first public meeting with us, our new BA. So welcome. And I hope everything is going smoothly, and welcome to the team. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Moved by Mrs. Prisco. Second by Mrs. Drappi. All in favor?
Aye.
And it is 7:36 and the meeting is officially adjourned. Everybody have a great night and enjoy your summer. Thank you.